Let's get into these topics. We have a lot of people to talk about tonight. Now, we have an update on the lawsuit alleging child sex abuse against Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears. The lawsuit has been dismissed, and the accuser issued this statement. My family and I have known Tiffany Haddish for many years, and we now know that she would never harm me or my brother or help anyone else do anything that could harm us. We wish Tiffany the best, and we are glad that we can put this all behind us. Aries Spears, however, was not mentioned in the statement. Oh, I slipped. What do you think about this update, Al?
Well, they kept saying that it felt like a money grab, and this, in fact, feels like a money grab because Tiffany settled quietly out of court without prejudice, which means they can never bring this back up again. So to me, this silently says that she settled with them for some undisclosed amount. And as it relates to Aries, we do know that he was not mentioned, but he was included in the court documents, and he too cannot be brought up for any type of charges in the future. But this is my question, Q and Claudia, and we've touched on this before. Is settling out of court a silent admission of guilt or fault?
I personally think depends on the situation. But like sometimes kind of, yeah, like, because here's the thing. If I outright knew I did not do nothing, if I just outright knew there was no inkling of a chance that I did nothing, you ain't getting my damn money. You ain't getting my money because I didn't do it. Now, I'm not saying that Tiffany did it, but I think maybe her team sat down and realized that based on the events that happened, there's a small chance that looks like you may have done something a little unscrupulous, whether it may have been intentional or not. And it's just in the best interest of your career to settle this thing so we can move on. The check definitely cleared, though, because this family is singing a different tune. When it first came out, it was, she's a monster, he's a monster, they took advantage of me, we were just young. Now all of a sudden it's, we've been knowing Tiffany for a long time, and we know she would never do anything to harm our family. Bitch, the check cleared.
Right. I think it's a 50-50 like thing here. I think why would you pay if there wasn't, you knew it wasn't of great damage to your career, or there was something more to the case? I think in this case, I don't think Tiffany Haddish is a child molester. That is my personal opinion. I do think the video was in very poor taste. And I think the video alone was almost as damaging as a real child molestation case. So it's just better at this point to just make it go away and just like get this out of her, out of the mix. She was also spotted by TMZ that just kind of came out today saying she lost all her jobs and she has nothing on the books right now. This case has caused her great harm. And she's trying to recoup and regroup.
Right. I'm so glad you mentioned that, Claudia. So this is my second question. Sorry for all the questions. My second question is, can Tiffany rebound from this? Or is there a little smear around her now in Hollywood? I
think there's nothing to rebound from. This thing stayed in the news for 3 days. It didn't get the traction. I don't think people walking around calling her a child molester. I don't think this will affect her at all.
I think for Tiffany, not so much. I think for Aries Spears, he has not reached the level of Tiffany Haddish, so he was kind of DOA already. But I think it'd be very hard for him to kind of get something mainstream going, because I think he looks much worse in the video than Tiffany does. Tiffany's kind of
that's why I really feel like he lucked up. He really lucked up.
And it doesn't stick with women. You know what I'm saying? It's weird because when you start talking about molestation, in most people's brain, that's a man on a child thing. So it doesn't carry the same weight when you throw a woman in the mix. I don't think people are looking at Tiffany any kind of way other than funny Tiffany Haddish.
And again, she's not in any of the shots with the kids straddling and simulating all kind of, well, I'm glad it's over. Aries definitely, benefited off of Tiffany being the co-defendant, because she has a lot more to lose, a lot more money. So she can write that check and he probably didn't have to do anything.
Right.
You know what? In this twisted world that we live in, he might actually get a career resurgence. I take back what I said, because the way we are nowadays in our society, bad is good and good is bad. More people talk about him than they talked about since Mad TV.
And you want to know the funny thing is that family is so basic I don't even think it was a lot of money, child.
Mm.
Tiffany probably gave them people $150,000 and they went and sat their ass down somewhere.
Right.
I really don't think it was a lot of money.
Well, I wish the children well, especially with the